What's up, everybody? What is
What's
up?
going on?
What is up? We have navigated some serious technical difficulties.
Yes.
Trying to figure this thing out, but we are here and we are excited. How you doing, babe?
I'm doing.
How you doing?
I'm doing.
You doing?
Been challenging couple of days.
Challenging couple of days, hasn't it?
I was able to have lunch with my baby sis, and that was an amazing.
Now, who's your baby sis?
Traci Anderson.
Traci Anderson.
Yep.
Wow,
And,
that's what she. I
lifted my spirits.
always love sitting and talking to her. So
I do too.
So that must have been absolutely amazing. Listen, guys, this is Shannon and Shirley. We are here finally at being beat upside the head by my baby bro, Jeremy Anderson. He was like, yo, man, you need a podcast. You need a podcast. You need a podcast. And man, I was like coming up with logos and doing all my C stuff. And all he wanted was like, get Shannon and Shirley in front of the people. Get something done, man.
Right.
What are you doing, bro?
So welcome to My Marriage is Dope.
Welcome
podcast.
to My Marriage is Dope podcast.
Yes.
Come on.
The first of many. Yep.
The first of many. Yeah. So you spoke to it, man. You alluded to it. The past couple days been rough for us, huh? Past couple days have been rough. As a matter of fact, we came off the mountaintop, right? Feeling real good at Jay's mastermind, right? And we, as usual, like the place was wrecked, right? The amount of anointing that is on this man, our brother, and his community, people's lives being changed, and we are flies on the wall, right?
Yeah.
And then we came off the wall.
We came off the wall. Matter of fact, we came off of our 25th year celebration.
Oh, my goodness. The devil was busy, man.
Right, so the devil is busy.
The devil, the enemy, whatever you want to call him, he busy.
He's busy. Because we have work to do. And that's what Jeremy keeps telling us. We got work to do.
Right. And so man, we had a pad, like some old stuff came up. Some old stuff maybe that hadn't been dealt with.
Maybe,
some things as it relates to us and our intimacy or sexual intimacy more so than anything else. And it jumped on our heads, man.
Yeah.
That thing jumped on me on Sunday when we woke up from the
I know. Just like, what is going on?
Man, that thing jumped on me on Sunday, and I woke up in a. I was all right, but I was in my head because I wanted you. I wanted you. Like it was our date weekend. We were chilling. We stayed in the hotel the first night. Then we was like, we gonna stay in the hotel the next night, and I just got in my head, man. I got in my head. Does she want me? Should I approach her? Should I touch her? Shouldn't I touch her? And then you came out the bathroom. Like, why are you sitting on the edge of the bed with no
naked, your clothes on?
No clothes.
Over there.
My clothes were laid out on one bed, and I'm sitting on the edge of the bed naked.
Scrolling through your phone. I'm like, what are you doing?
You didn't get the hint, though.
I did get the hint, but I'm just like, it's just weird. You were on your phone. It wasn't like nothing to it.
I wasn't like sprawled out, like, come get it.
Come get, like, I'm waiting for you.
Right. Because I was in my head, man. Guys, for a long time, Shirley and I, we battled in this area of sexual intimacy, and she has never, ever turned me down, not once. Has she ever turned me down? But in my head, she turns me down all the time, and that's some rejection foolishness that I've dealt with, that really hadn't been dealt
and then
with.
My challenges trigger that.
Right. So
Yeah.
So man, like, listen, our marriage is dope. Even with the challenges, our marriage is dope.
For
even
sure.
with the ups and the downs. You're supposed to have ups and downs, and so we here for it. That's what we here for, and we're here with this inaugural podcast. And we have the infamous. Is he infamous?
Infamous.
He's famous.
He's famous.
He is he light-skinned though. That's his only downfall.
He light-skinned.
He light-skinned.
Oh gosh.
And he made them light-skinned babies. Some babies don't know what melanin can mean for them.
They beautiful.
As African American
caramel beautiful
light-skinned children.
Leave my caramel
Jackson and Jewel. And so let's bring him. Let's go ahead and bring him. Without further ado, let us.
My people, y'all crazy. Y'all got us over here rolling.
What's up?
What up, man?
Is my baby sis? She coming on? She with him?
What up, man?
What's happening? Y'all doing all right?
What's happening, baby?
Yeah,
boy?
we as you heard.
Yeah.
As you heard. Did you see her easy frame?
There you go.
Listen. There is a God. There is a God, y'all.
Y'all better get it while you can.
Hey, listen. This is. Let me tell you. Oh, I'm about to be in tears. You hear what I'm telling you? I'm like hyper emotional, right? Because I know how Traci is not. She not sliding up in the front and taking over she behind the scenes. She behind the scenes. And and listen, Jay, I just happened to be going to the bathroom. Listen, minding my own business. And Traci was out doing her stuff like she is in the background. And I was like, I went to the bathroom and I said, ask her. And I was like, God, for real, ask her. And right, no, this is really, I'm literally battling because we just finished talking about me having rejection issues. What is going on? Oh, that's your watch, right? And so I was like, nah, because I know she don't do that. She just, like, I want to respect that about my baby sis. Mm-hmm. And God said, ask her. And so I came out the bathroom. I felt like Traci was a chick in the club that I was trying to holler at, right? And I'm like, okay, I don't want to say the wrong thing. I wanted to come out right. And I was like, Trey. She was like, what? She's like being her, like, what's up, big bro? I said, can I ask you something? She was like, sure, of course. I was literally palm sweaty, like, So Jay gonna be on a podcast, right? Our first podcast, and I want you to join. I want you to join. I want you to come on with them.
Right.
And she was like, If it was anybody else asking me,
did Traci say that?
No, that was the look on her face. That everything in her was like, this my big bro, and he don't ask me for nothing. And she said, and then she still gave me I might be there, I might not, I might make an appearance, and I'm like, whatever you can do, you do that. And
so we were upstairs eating just now, and I was like, well, I have to go down and do the tech check with Shannon and Shirley. She was like, okay, I'll be down in a minute. I said, really? She said, yeah, I thought I'm going to make an appearance. I was like, oh, praise God.
Right.
Yeah, y'all special.
Praise God.
Well, thank y'all.
So we are so happy, man, to just have you guys in this. Like, y'all been pushing us to this for a long time, dude. Like, super duper long time. Y'all been saying, hey, you need to feed these people out here. They need to hear from you guys. And slowly but surely, you see, Jay. How do you feel about my graphical presentation? Is it all right for you? Is it?
I see you.
And the background is amazing.
I see you.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. We had that logo done. That logo, Jay, was done on Fiverr. Not to be giving no shouts out to Fiverr, but we found a graphic artist on Fiverr, and
yep.
The rest is history.
Fire.
So listen, bro, let me ask you. So Shirley and I, we were blessed to be able to celebrate and you guys were a part of that celebration. We were blessed to be able to celebrate 25 years. How long and you and Traci been married? I want to ask that question. And I want to know, because y'all both light skinned and pretty, like who hollered at who? Like what did that look like when y'all like paint that picture for us if you don't mind.
Yeah. So we've been married now for 12 years, 6 months and about 8 days. Actually more like 11 days.
Right.
Yeah, we were married. We dated for about 2 years before we got married. Mm-hmm. And so we were together for 14 years.
Almost 3 years.
Yeah. And we worked together.
Yeah, we did.
We actually worked at Enterprise together.
Wait a minute, hold on. Traci worked at Enterprise?
Mm-hmm. Oh, bro, that's my, yeah.
What?
Yeah. So actually, she was working at a branch in Athens. Mm-hmm. So, typically when you have a rental car location, if one building doesn't have enough cars, they can borrow from the other one. So it's kind of common courtesy. All the managers know each other, but you don't give them your new cars. You give them the ones that maybe somebody been smoking cigarettes in, maybe they need an oil change. You know what I'm saying? Like you give them those type of vehicles. So it's known you don't give them the best vehicles. Well, the manager sent Traci to our location to request some vehicles. And I had already had a bucket of the loafers. That's what you call it, that need lube, oil, and filter. I already had a bucket of those vehicles that, when she came in, I was singing that T.I. song, "You can have whatever you ever need." Jeremy! And I don't remember what I gave you, but it wouldn't be an exaggeration to say some Suburbans probably, some Mercedes. Like it was some nicer vehicles.
And then we ended up working at the same location.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
For a while.
God be knowing. Yeah. She wasn't really in the spirit initially though. Because when I first met her, I was thinking like, man, she's freaking gorgeous. Mm-hmm. Like I need her in my life. Mm-hmm. And I just didn't see her again. And then maybe a month later, they moved her to my location, and I was trying to, I was being fond of her. We would just had a friendship first. I would get her lunch from time to time, and other friends would bring me lunch, and
all kinds of girls.
All kinds of girls.
Trey, talk about it. You said he had a stream of them.
I had to eat.
Whole stream.
It was like I had to eat. You know what I'm saying? I had friends that wanted to make sure I was fed.
You think it's a game?
And but I really tried to get with her. She really wasn't paying me no mind. And then when I left Enterprise, she reached out to me and was just like, how you doing? I said, I'll text you back. I said, man, I'm good. I handle my business. How you guys doing at the Enterprise? She's like, we doing good. Every staff is doing okay. Like, we should get together sometime. And I was like, wow. Yeah, you're right. Like the staff, I'm still thinking staff wise. Right. I'm like, hey, y'all want to come out to the club? But that's when Play Cousins was in full effect. Mm-hmm. I'm like, yo, y'all want to come out to the club? Like, we'll get you a table. She texted me back and was like, I'm talking about me and you.
Trey.
Wait a minute now.
Oh my God.
So
I'm talking about she ain't no high D. That D was rising, baby.
So, my next text had to be like the best. And I didn't want to come off thirsty or too excited. So I just texted back, I bet. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing at that. But on the inside, I was jumping for joy.
Right.
And so that was the start. I can go into a whole bunch of other long stuff, but that's kind of how it started. And we began to build and grow and spend time together. And I had some other people that probably wish they stood today think that they should be in this seat right here. Right. But when she came on the scene, it's like God closed a whole bunch of other doors and I put all my focus on her.
That's right.
Wow. That's right. So Shirley and I always tell a story, but that it is her physique that attracted me. And actually that it was that because I wasn't in the spirit. Like I came from the army, dude. I was just very flesh driven at the time. let's call it that, flesh driven. And initially it was her, that the bedow that she got behind her, them hips and her pretty feet. Her feet got me, Jay. Her feet, oh man, we was at a potluck. And she, that's when, she used to wear, pantyhose then, and then she had the sheer joints on. So you could see through, to see the feet. Man, I saw them digits down there, bro. I was just like, whoa. And I got that feet thing bad. Like, remember, what's the movie, Boomerang? Remember Eddie Murphy in Boomerang? Yeah. And he pulled the covers back, and old girl was like this, and he was like, oh, he had to slide out of the bed. He had to get up. And then when he pulled back the covers on, was it Robin Givens, right? Yeah. That was his love interest. And when he pulled back the covers on her, he was like, yes, yes.
Yep, that is you.
And so, it's, but
the funny thing is we both were like, nah, he straight up told me, yeah, I couldn't be with you. And I was like, well, I can't be with you either. Like, we just were not each other's types. That's why it's so funny that
she was a thug, man.
We're 27 years in.
She was a thug, bro. When I first met Shirley, she was thug-ish. You hear what I'm telling you? And but not she had that jersey, and then in college they called her Queen Mother Rage. So she had the afro, right? When I first met her, she had she had on some sweatpants and a big sweatpants and a big t-shirt because she didn't like to show off her body. And then she had an afro. So I saw her from behind and I'm thinking she's a dude. And so when she turned around, she was obviously a woman and she was very cute in the face, but she had on these baggy clothes. And then she had an afro. I liked the women that was a little fairer skinned, not as dark as my beautiful chocolate queen is now, and had them bobs. The wraps, how they used to wrap their hair, and then they had the bob, the asymmetrical bob and all that. That was me. And had crazy shoe game. If that was you, then I was attracted to you. And so, we affectionately talk about that. And but once I saw her in a different light at New Life Church, Jay, at New Life, she went walking down the aisle on the middle aisle on that left-hand side. She went walking down there. She just grazed my shoulder and said, "Happy Sabbath." And I was like, "Oh yeah," and we hugged. And it's like, "Hey, that's Shirley," right? So she just went walking down walking down the aisle. I was sitting more in the back of the church, and she had on this blue dress, Trey. And look at me, Trey. I'm leaning out the aisle, looking at her walk down the aisle, and I'm just like, oh my goodness. I didn't know that's what was going on, right? So then the following Wednesday, we were leaving my friend's house where I was staying. We did the police park, and I was like, hey, why don't we hang out sometime?
And bring your friend in the back.
What? I said, we should hang out, go to a movie or something. And we've been together ever since. Well, we had a couple of breakups there and stuff like that. But
what would you guys say in the 12 years would be a lesson, like one of the most important lessons that you guys have learned?
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
I could write a whole book on it. So I would say probably one of the biggest lessons that I learned is to not to make your level of service and the love that you show your spouse contingent upon, what you get in return, right? Because sometimes it can be easy to say, well, I'll do this for you if you do that for me. And that didn't really work. It didn't work if Tracy took that mindset or approach. It didn't work if I took that approach. So one thing I can just probably mention off the top of my head is not to have that, I'll do this if you do that. Like, in order for your marriage to be successful, you got to be locked in 100%. And you got to have that mindset that says, regardless of what you do, what you say, and how you handle your business, that's not contingent upon the love I'm going to show you and what I'm supposed to do. Mm-hmm. That's one thing.
Yeah, I think for me, it has taught me, I think, patience, or I can't say it's taught me, it's still teaching me how to be patient. And that for us, I can't say this for everybody else, but the things that he may do that I may take the wrong way, it's not necessarily malice. And I have to realize that, like, he's not out to get me, you know? Yeah. Well, it's not malice, not, he's doing something that he may think it's best or in my best interest, or maybe to try to protect me, or, however he sees that may further our family. But I think that those are the two things for me. And
I'm going to tie that in with another piece if I can.
Sure.
I'm going to give you an example of when she says, okay, let me not be, it wasn't malice, but was frustrated at something I did and how I missed the cue as well. Another one I would say is to, love your spouse the way that they love, the way that they need to be loved, and not the way that you think or you would want to be loved. I'm telling the story.
Oh, okay.
So there was a time when she was working for this celebrity doctor here in Atlanta. She was the office manager. So she managed all the doctor's schedules and accounts payable, like all that stuff. She basically run that whole joint. So one day, I'm me trying to be a dope husband, I ordered a big old stupid bouquet of flowers and brought to her, had it delivered to her. No holiday, nothing special. I'm just like, hey, my marriage is dope. I'm a dope husband. Like, I'm about to send something really nice. I dropped like probably $200, big old stupid bouquet. And that day, later that evening, she came home and she wasn't like super excited. And I was just like, hey, what's up? And she was just like, hey, I got the flowers, thanks. But I could tell like something was bothering her. I was like, what's up? She was like, I struggled today. Like, everybody kept coming to my desk. Everybody kept coming to my office saying, oh, look at these flowers. She was like, I don't like all that attention. And she was just like, I just wish you knew me. And I remember thinking like, what you mean know you? Like, I got you some nice flowers. Like, you like flowers. But she was like, but if you really knew me, you would have known that I definitely don't want them delivered to the house. I mean, to the job. I don't want all this focus and all this attention on me. And it was a major distraction. I like to be behind the scenes, and that just put me out front. And I'm very frugal. You know what I'm saying? She was like, I would have, as opposed to you spending all that money for those flowers, I would have rather you just picked some flowers or went to a florist and maybe spent $30 and put together something nice that would have been more meaningful. And then you could have just shared with me in the privacy of our home. And I remember feeling so dodo, like, but I wasn't in the spirit. So I was like, yo, this chick don't get it. Like, do you know how many women wish their husband would do something like this? You know what I'm saying? Like, I was on that victim mode. Like, she don't see me. I'm trying to do this for her. I can't. Now, I didn't say this to her because God has really been working with me on really governing my tongue. So I didn't like fight her verbally. We didn't go there, but I remember feeling like, damn, like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. Like, but she grew because she realized I know it's not malice. And I had to grow and say, hey, that's something that I might have liked. But if I really was in tune with my wife, there's a certain way that she needs to be loved. And if I really will love her, then I need to love her in that way. So that was a learning lesson for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, those are powerful lessons. And even to add to that, we need to understand that humans are going to human, right? And so sometimes our spouses do things that hurt us, right? They're not doing something to protect us or, trying to be nice and then, it's not speaking our language or whatever, but they really do things that hurt us. And like Traci said, we still have to have that mindset that, you know what? A human's gonna human. Like, that's just what it is. And so when I look at, let me break down what's going on, right? So assess my environment, assess the environment that my spouse is in. Maybe something's going on that I'm not even aware of, right? So before I just jump and react, let me be like, babe, you okay? Was everything going on with your day? Because I noticed you snapped. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times we find that as couples, what we're going to do is we're just automatically going to react to the energy that we get. You know, and it's just, you know, one of the lessons that, you know, of the many lessons that we all have learned. You know, like Trey said, you have to realize that I married this person. And in spite of whatever hurt we have caused to one another, right? If we could just get to the point where we realize that we are imperfect and we're actually going to hurt each other.
You know, Jay and Trey, when we're coaching, sometimes, you know, I say to couples, first of all, I ask, you know, we coach from a Christian, you know, basis, right? But, you know, it don't matter if you're Muslim, it don't matter if you're Hindu, if you're atheist. If you're atheist, you believe in a moral code. Like, you believe in simple right and wrong, right? But from a Christian standpoint, like we asked the question, I don't know how many spouses I've asked, are you perfect? Like, do you get it all right all the time, every time? Right? Do you ever have to pray to God and ask for forgiveness? And look, you know, they jump right in, Jay. Like, of course, yes, I have to. Like, all this, like, vehemently just agreeing with the fact that they are sinners saved by grace. So I'm like, well, why do you expect of your spouse what you don't even expect of yourself with God? But here's the problem. The problem comes in, it's okay for our spouses to sin, just not sin against us.
Right.
That sin can't be against us. Right. That sin, if that sin is against us, they need to go to hell immediately.
It's a problem.
But I don't know how many spouses sit around and watch their spouses cheat on their taxes, or watch them be disrespectful to parents, or watch them, take a little something that didn't belong. Like, somebody deposited something by mistake in my check. Are you giving it back? Like, where's your check? No, folks are being human, and we make these kinds of mistakes, but we don't have that tolerance for each other. And so, I'm curious to know how, because Traci, I was there when you were baptized, but before you were baptized, I'm quite sure you knew who God was. Like, you had a walk with God. Like, how has this your spiritual center helped to shape the kind of husband and wife that you guys are?
I think that, I think everything kind of centers around forgiveness. Just because, God, He forgives us daily. And so I think that that's something, even though we may hold on to things, we know, the difference between right and wrong. I think that, that's something that we both grow with, and it's a daily battle, because it's like, you don't forget, but you have to, continue to pray. You have to continue to, keep your walk and I guess my personal walk, or, and Jeremy's personal walk, with God, and just remember that everything, centers around forgiveness. I think that that's something that, I focus on. Definitely not perfect, and I'm getting better at, but I know that's it for me.
Yeah, I think, I truly believe as long as I am like a good Christian, I'll be a good husband. A lot of the guys that I talk to and have been building with that's really struggling in their marriage, they feel a certain way about their spouse. It's like, the word says that we should love our enemies. Love our enemies now. And what about the person that we took a vow to, you know? And so, but we fight, but we human, and we fight between the flesh and the spirit.
Yeah.
So I'm up early in the morning to seek the face of God. If not, then I'll be on some carnal stuff.
Right.
I'll be on some flesh stuff, and nobody wants to see that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I've got the tongue, you know what I'm saying, that can cut. You know what I'm saying? I've got the looks that can cut. Like I can go and get caught up on some foolishness out here. I can have that heart that I could harden. So I be praying like, man, God created me a clean heart, like renew a right spirit within me. So I wake up early in the morning, you know, because Traci needs the best version of me.
Yeah.
She don't need stubborn, prideful, insecure Jeremy. You know what I'm saying? She don't need that. She needs to heal, the restored, the patient, the kind, the loving Jeremy. She don't deserve me to be caught up in my feelings. You know what I'm saying? Like, so for me, I just have to be the husband, the father that I know God has called me to be. It really starts with me putting that time in with him in the morning. If not, it's too easy for me to slip back into something or somebody I don't want to be. So, you know, God has been the bedrock of both of our, you know what I'm saying, both of our relationships. There's times when she's reading, you know what I'm saying, books on marriage, and that's what I'm reading right now in this season. God told me, don't even read no business books. He was like, son, you know how to make money. Money flows to you. Money's easy. Marriage is hard. So I'm reading marriage books now. You know what I'm saying? I've been reading them, but I'm just saying, like, in this season, the last 3 books I've been reading have been in alignment with marriage so I can be better. So it's the same as with Traci. You know, it's learning to forgive, learning to show love, you know, and then being patient, really trying to keep those fruits of the spirit, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, long suffering.
Long suffering. Listen, you guys, you are here with Shannon and Shirley with the Marriage is Dope podcast. Our guest today is none other than Jeremy and Traci Anderson, our baby bro and sis. We are so thankful that they chose to join us. So Jeremy, you wrote the foreword to the number one bestseller eventually. Number one bestseller, the book Husband, right? And you said some stuff in there that I'm not going to read it, but when you just think of yourself as a husband, like let me tell you, first, I think that being a husband is the most demanding calling that a human being can have, because of all of the things associated with all the responsibility. If it's your desire to do it right, then that's not an easy thing. And I remember your pops, Pastor Daryl Anderson. I remember him introducing me to the word or the phrase house band, right? And so, as a house band, as a husband, like, how do you view that as you try to navigate, you know, this world and your family and the examples? Because a lot of people come to you like, Jay, I need for help, for guidance as a husband, as a man, because they see you. How are you managing being a husband?
I agree. I think being a husband is the most rewarding, and then also the most demanding and the most important job that a man can hold. You know, and then being that house band, I think one of the biggest things to give you what you need to be a strong husband, to be a great husband, to be a great house band is priorities. And so for me, I just have to always remind myself that my first priority is my family. So it's like when I'm traveling and speaking, it's like I'll be on the first flight out. If I got to leave at 5 a.m, I got to catch a late flight. Like, I'm trying to come in, speak, and come right back. I really don't want to spend no time away. I had a gig earlier today. I was in there. By the time I got done, I literally took pictures with a few people as I was walking out the door. I don't even know what the next person was about to present on. And folks was like, yo, you gonna stay for the event? I'm like, bro, I'm getting back home to my family. You know what I'm saying? So I really believe that we've got to make that, you know, that the main thing. As to be that house band, you got to be present. And there was a season when we traveled together. There was a season when she would allow me to go away and travel and do the work and come back. And so for me, I feel like, being a husband is a very, very honorable and important role. And it's not just to be present with the family or just be there with your spouse. It's like your son needs you there to show him what it looks like. You know what I'm saying? Your daughter needs you there. You know what I'm saying? But the enemy has been attacking marriages because he knows if I attack the marriage, I can attack a family. And I know you guys feel very passionate about that when couples go through a divorce and they separate and they break up, it's like the family dies in a sense. That can be very painful. And so now if that little girl grows up and her father is not present in her life to speak love and encourage and affirm her, she's questioning her self-worth. So whenever some little cute brown-skinned boy come around and talk sweet to her, she gonna open up her legs. And now the young boy, he might not realize what it means to be a protector and to protect the queens in his community. He just see other guys out here, you know what I'm saying, like a stamp on a badge of honor, the more young girls you can get with. And his father wasn't present in his life to show him, this is how you treat a lady, this is how you court a woman. And so as soon as he sees something, you know what I'm saying, with his little horny self, he trying to smash. And then you get these two people that come together from broken homes, broken families, and the cycle continues. You know what I'm saying? And so it's been an attack on the marriage and on the home, you know what I'm saying, since the very beginning. And so I think that's I'm telling you, like, I believe, man, being a husband is a very honorable, it's a very important, and sometimes a very taxing role. Like if you do it right, and depending on the situation and your family dynamics, it can be very taxing as well. And one way that I've been able to navigate it is through counseling. You guys have been a lifesaver. I don't know if we would even still have our marriage, and we definitely wouldn't be where we are in marriage if it wasn't for you guys. And so, tapping into those resources, because I don't want people to hear me, Shannon and Shirley, and they feel like, man, I don't know what level Jeremy on, bro. I'm regular just like you. You know what I'm saying? I tap into the resources and was humble enough to realize I can't figure it out on my own.
Hey, let me say this, and I want to hear, I want to shift to Traci and Shirley's thoughts on this. The Lord revealed to me, I was reading about the virtuous woman, the virtuous wife. And when I read all of her characteristics, very little was said about her husband, except he sit at the city gates where he sits and obviously is respected but how has this man, what kind of environment has he provided for her to be able to be all that we read about in Proverbs 31? Like, he had to have handled his business. He sure enough wasn't sitting around scratching his nuts. Like, he sure enough was not handling his business and focused on, whatever his vocation was or whatever his, whatever his process was to get to a point where she could have servants that she's getting up for to cook for, right? So I'm interested to know, babe, like how you and Trey see that virtuous woman role. Like it's a cliche, it's almost catchphrases that people speak about the virtuous woman. But that's a serious chick right there. That chick, she's about her business, and I see so much of her in you, in the both of you. So what has been being a wife been like for you two?
Just it equates to what really being a husband is, right? It's taxing, it's beautiful, it's rewarding, and of course it has been a journey. Just literally understanding what does that look like for us, right? Because what you need and what Jeremy needs is two different things, right? So we can't have, this cookie cutter construct, and which I had, right? So I came into it because my example was my mother. And so, I would do things for you based on what my mother did for my father. And then there were times where I would demonize you because you were not appreciating what I was doing. right? And so, I wasn't thinking about no virtuous woman. I was just trying to figure out what does it mean to be a wife that my husband would be pleased with. And also that I would be comfortable with, right? But I've also realized as I've gotten seasoned in this that comfortability is not always a priority. And so just managing how you feel, how I feel. Does how I feel matter? Like, is how you feel based in principles that does not go against my principle? Like, it's so much managing a husband, children, a household, if you're working, you know what I mean, your career, your hobbies, your desires, your dreams. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot to manage that. But what I have come to realize is that when you do not have just goals and principles and you're not focused, it's way more to manage because you're all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Like Jeremy said, you have to tap into resources to help you figure out, okay, what is this thing? Where am I? Because a lot of times I've gotten lost just in my own emotions. You know what I'm saying? And so, just trying to figure it out. So, and it's ever changing.
Yeah. Trey, what about you? What say you?
I completely agree. I think it is rewarding. I think it is, you have to be able to sacrifice. I think that you have to learn to not be comfortable. I think that you learn more about yourself when you're married, because you have somebody there who, is basically holding you accountable. I think that, I come from a single parent household, even though there were marriages, around me to see. But, I don't think anybody, honestly, knows what marriage is until you are married. I mean, I don't think anybody knows because every marriage is different because two different people, you may, even if you have parents who are married, their marriage is not going to be like yours because you have two different people coming together, to share a life, to grow with. And I think that is important for everybody, to know. Definitely comes with its challenges, but it also comes with its greatest rewards as well. Yeah.
Am I the greatest reward? Praise God. I heard it first here.
Not the greatest reward. Not the greatest reward. So we're not going to keep you guys much longer, but we have a couple of just off fire questions for you guys, and we need you both to answer. All right?
Okay.
At the same time, or we like on the same team?
Like no, just you answer, husband, like whatever, right? So favorite restaurant?
Poor Calvin's.
Port Cal. What? Okay. All right. Port Calvin's. Okay.
Oh, we took y'all there? Port Cal. I'm sorry.
Where is Port? What's the cuisine at Port Calvin's?
Atlanta.
It is Southern Thai.
Fusion.
Ooh. Yes, it's Southern Thai.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Okay.
Cray.
Wow. Okay. The country you most enjoyed visiting?
Ooh, mine was Italy. I just came from there.
Yeah.
Did you roll your eyes, Jay?
Yeah.
Did you?
Jay?
Yeah. But before that, where was it?
South Africa.
There we go.
Jeremy, have you ever been to Italy?
No.
Wait till you go. You might change your mind, baby bro.
Yeah, we gonna go. I'm gonna take another trip with her though. But yeah, so our joint answer is South Africa for her independence. answer is Italy.
It's Italy. Okay. Alabama or Auburn?
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
What asset do you like best on each other?
For Traci, trustworthiness. You know what I'm saying? Like I can trust her. I don't question any intentions. I can trust her with everything. So trustworthy. Matter of fact, that's you want to tell them their name? Simpiwe? Simpiwe. Zulu.
Jules' name is Simpiwe.
Yours was Timbekile.
Yes.
So when we went to South Africa for the first time, a Zulu elder named her, gave her a name, Timbekile, which means the trusted one. And he sensed that from her spirit. Remember that? He sensed that from her spirit. I was there doing a week of prayer, and he sensed that from her spirit. And for like one of the final days, they gave us the little, the little garb or whatever. And he named her Timbekile, which means the trusted one.
Yeah.
He said, he has a trustworthy spirit. I was like, that is
fitting.
Right.
That's right.
Wow.
What about you, Trey?
I think his mind. Yeah.
I got a beautiful mind,
You
y'all.
got a beautiful mind, baby,
listen.
bro.
That's
I actually
also interpreted he crazy. That could also be interpreted he crazy.
Yes, he is crazy, but I also think just the way that he processes things, and the way that he thinks about things, thought process. It does. Sometimes I question, but it is, it is just me being, I guess, my personality.
Right.
But I think so. I think, yes, his mind, I would say.
I love it.
Well, look, we have watched you guys grow. We remember the humble beginnings.
Yes.
And you guys have been, it costs to be the boss, right? You guys, we have watched you guys really like grow into a couple that we are proud to know and mentor and be mentored by. And we just, if anything ever happened to us, that you guys are our hearts and we love you dearly. Let's give it up for Traci and Jeremy Anderson. Come on.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, same here.
We love y'all too. I remember those marriage counseling sessions we had at the house in Madison before we even got married. Y'all have been taking this journey with us from the very beginning, man. So we love you guys too.
Yeah. So listen.
I really feel like the whole world, I can't wait for the whole world to know how dope y'all are. You know what I'm saying? Individually and collectively. Like, man, when the world really realizes how dope y'all are, man, by the grace of God, bro, y'all about to change and save millions of marriages. I really believe that.
I agree.
Well, you guys, you keep us in prayer so that we can stay on that path of nurturing and pouring into each other. I'm finding that if we don't do that, if we don't stay on track, Shirley just recently was like, maybe we should go to counseling together. And, and I was like, before I was reluctant because it's challenging. It's like very few people that can actually counsel me. Because I'm already going ahead of you. I'm ahead of where you're going, but I'm giving up the reins, and I realize that it is important for us to be guided and mentored as well, professionally, and so we are going to be doing that very, very soon, and so. Once again, man, we thank you. We thank you for joining us for this inaugural. Who else could, as a guest, could we have had? We're not going to always have guests, but for this first joint, we had to have Ebony and
Jeremy and Traci.
No, I was going to say ebony and ivory, but it's ivory and ivory. Right? It's ivory and ivory.
All right.
No, we love you guys. We love you guys, and thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. See y'all.
Right.
See you later.
All right. And so, hey, was that amazing or what? Kind of laid back, right?
Very laid back.
Very laid back, you know. Some would say our energy is like our energy is subdued.
Yes.
Right? But no, that was, you know, one of many podcasts that thank you for joining me and on this journey. And you know, we'll see where it goes, right? All right, guys, listen, this has been Shannon and
Shirley.
And we thank you guys for joining us for this inaugural installment of My Marriage is Dope podcast. And we look forward to many, many more. Peace and blessings to you guys.